This is the Canyon Inflite 8.0 CF SLX Race Pro, or Pro Race. And I just wanted to talk about why I chose it for both CX and gravel, which is a bit counterintuitive based on the description of the bike being a CX race bike. Bottom line is, people do gravel on any type of bike, and unless you're doing some crazy 200-mile gravel grinder, you'll probably be fine on anything. This bike can take up to 42C tires, supposedly. I have 33 on here. This is the stock clearance. I'm trying to get a clear picture in there. Just took it out this morning for the first CX practice of the year, and this is the first bike that's ever fit me perfectly on the very first ride. I've had no issues adjusting to it. Just sort of mocked my saddle height from my Canyon Endurace, and it fit perfectly. I'm concerned about a couple things. When I was tightening the seat clamp here, I heard some sort of like carbon cracking, sort of cranking sounds. So we'll see what happens there. This little cover doesn't really sit in there very nicely. Some strange things here. This bolt sits a little bit further out than this bottom bolt, but in practice there was no issues. The aero bars are really quite comfortable, and it was an amazing ride. My other concern for when I do gravel racing is this gearing. This is a 40-tooth chain ring, and it's 11 by 36 in the rear end. So really, probably only times you'll experience spin out is on the downhill. I think I'll post a picture in the video of the cadence chart, but the top speed at around 100 RPM is like 29.25 miles per hour. So you shouldn't have any issues in a pace line, maybe a little bit higher of a cadence than you're used to. On my gravel bikes, I like riding a 44-tooth chainring, so that might be something that I change out for gravel races. This bike was supremely comfortable on the CX practice. This kink and the sort of departure of the seat tube from the top tube and the seat post gave it enough flex and compliance that it was really smooth over all of the fine bumps in the grass. And I had my tire pressure set to 30 psi. I went in running 60 psi because I was taking pavement to the practice, and then also I prefer higher tire pressure. So when I lowered it to 30, I was able to rail the turns really quite well. I'm in love with the design of the bike. It's polarizing. A lot of people don't like this top kink, but I think it's a great look. The yellow really sets off the frame. I had the Stealth Canyon Endurace, and one of my complaints about it was that it needed some color. So when I decided to do the Canyon Inflite, I chose this yellow just to stand out a little bit and spice things up. All the cable management is amazing. It's all ran internally within the frame and inside the fork. I'll wait and see about this SRAM rival drivetrain and gear set. I think it's sort of beginner / mid-range, so might want to update to the Force. I'll just see what it does. I think it'll be fine for me racing Cat 4/5, and if I want to upgrade, that might be something that I upgrade on this bike. Right now, this Inflite is on sale. It's $200 off because I think they're about to release the aluminum versions in the United States. So if you're watching this video close to the post date, you might wait and see what they do. They might release a cheaper aluminum version of this in the United States, as well as I think there's an additional carbon version that is slightly cheaper. But right now is a great time to pick one of these up because it was on sale. I overnighted it, or actually 2-day shipment, and it came in exactly 2 days. Popped it up on the stand, put the handlebars on, put the front wheel on, and took some stickers off, and it was ready to go. I will probably post another review of this bike after cross season. This will be the first season that I try to do multiple cross races, but I'm really looking forward to it on this thing. And I did take it on the pavement with some road riders, and I popped it down into the highest gear, and I can tell that I'll probably spin this out, especially on road rides. I typically like, as I said, a lower cadence and riding in the higher gears. So that will probably be the first thing I upgrade. And if you are into gravel races, that might be something you'd consider. But I have absolutely no reservations of using this bike in gravel rides, in particular the tire clearance, and then its ability to just shed dirt and handle mud and grit. Going to be watching this spot on the bike closely during gravel and CX. If you can see how that spacer sort of drags across the top of the tube, if mud or rocks or whatever gets in there, I could imagine it scraping up the surface of the carbon. My Endurace has a similar situation down here where the fork sort of extends here, and I've really actually never had any issues with grit getting stuck in there, but it's something to watch out for. So stay tuned. Perhaps I'll post another video of this. Pretty standard DT Swiss wheels, nothing really too amazing about them. But oh, the other thing was, this is silent. I mean, you can hear it because of the video being so close to the hub, but when you're riding this thing, the hub is almost completely silent. I don't know if that's, a friend told me it might get louder as I use it more, but it was really quite freaky riding it for the first time. You can really sneak up on people on the CX course or on the pavement. Kind of a special treat that I wasn't expecting. Oh, small detail, fork is black on this side and yellow on this side. I don't remember if you see that online. Kind of interesting. So double thumbs up, highly recommended. I'm a big fan of Canyon now, although I do like supporting my local bike shop. I'm a huge fan of Canyon bikes, and this is going to be an amazing bike and an amazing gravel and CX season.